So maximize this again just to make sure I can figure out where in the video to clip it. All right. How to TLDR this? I'm wrong. My assumption was plex, extractors, and injectors were all in lockstep. It's incorrect. A year ago, uh, injectors were 33% more profitable compared to everything else. So, or the costs were 33% anomalous to what I claimed. And that's all you needed to turn a profit, not double, not quadruple. Like double to, I was claiming double to break even, quadruple to make a profit. All you needed was one of those trinities of lockstep to not be lockstep, to be absolutely no way lockstep, and just be 33% out of step with everything else, and you could turn a profit just on the injectors. And that's literally what happened. And he cherry picked like a mofo, but he went by the numbers he could a year ago. We can't look further back. And he cherry picked in order to show, look, I mean, 2 years ago it was probably even more profitable because of that weird anomalous injector price for, low supply, high demand. Market wasn't mature, and I've always assumed that the market had been mature very quickly. And I'm assuming that since, well, I assumed too much, basically. And the rest of the video is me running down the numbers and just double checking things. So you can watch the rest of the video if you like. So, correction. He's right. He's cherry picking. He's cherry picking massively. Skill injectors, price history a year ago. Yeah, 640. Amar, price history a year ago, 640. His cherry picking of 718 on 9/11 is a troll, but at the same time, he's trying to prove that back then it was outsized. Even ignoring his cherry picking, it was outsized price compared to everything else. A year ago, plex prices were, in comparison with the other two, not lockstep. Large scale injectors were 33% more profitable back then. Extractors, the price variation was 6% compared to plex. Compared to plex prices now, and then it's 36 to 33% depending on GDA and MAR for large skill injectors. I tried to do domain skill farming a year ago, but I didn't like it because of all the humping of injectors, and since I wanted to do it once per month, that was a lot of risk. I'm sure this person does it routinely and so doesn't have to hump that much. But yeah, I'm almost positive in order to min max his profit, he would have to hump it. But it's possible. I mean, you could definitely do it, but the risk of being known as your hauler, being known as a plex hauler, and all you need is just to forget to cloak, or just somebody happens to just, well, you hardly ever see gankers in a MAR, but what happens if you did get ganked hauling that stuff? And I do videos and I'm showing which one's my hauler. you know so yeah, that was a little, but yeah, I mean, it's possible to do it in a MAR. I just prefer to eat it because of the volume. There's no, if I do it once a month, there's no real choke points in supply and demand. So yeah, I mean, he's trying to show, he did cherry pick, but he's trying to show that maybe 2 years ago it was even, the market was even more immature. I mean, now it's, I believe, Yeah, the prices are really dodgy. Like I used to think, well, if the market's mature, plex, the holy trinity of plex, extractors, injectors would all be fixed in price because as one goes up, the others track, right? One goes down, the others track. It's not the case. So 33% is a large number. And he's probably trying to say, like, 2 years ago it was even more lucrative. You could turn a profit on skill injectors, which, since I never really got into that market until late, and it's not possible anymore. There's definitely a loss. Yeah, and my math sucks because I was like, oh yeah, you need double the profit, or quadruple. You need double the profit to break even. You need quadruple the profit to. And I'm and my argument was CCP would never let that happen, but apparently they didn't give a shit. So the speculation on injectors, and they must have been in such huge demand because not only is it people figuring out, hey, it's profitable, let's get into it. Also, there's a drop in demand as well. So supply is up, demand is low, and that's where you get this weird skill injectors being so weird with prices. And he proved, and I tracked the numbers. His numbers are cherry picked, but they're legit. Um, he proved that you don't need double the profit in order to break even. You just need 33% profit, and you're making a tiny profit. And then if you think about it, if you go back 2 years, you could have been probably profiting way more with the margins, because the margins are really slim now. But back then they were loosey goosey, and you had injectors really not reflective of the prices currently. It's not a holy trinity. It's not lockstep. It's Yeah, so I'm wrong. It's not lockstep. And it's amazing that, well, I suck at math, but it's amazing that all you need is like 33% more and you're breaking a profit. I'm like, what the hell? So, anyways, oh, Wi-Fi girl. So I gotta cut it out. Yeah, I think I covered that. I mean, yeah, I'll let the, because I don't like people trolling, and I was like 9/11. That sounds like a troll, and then a couple of numbers were off, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's legit, and he's trying to prove a point with the data we have on hand, and with evidence I can look at and go, okay, well, it's there. He might have cherry picked, but it's there. And in the past, it could have been way more. The discrepancy between the trinities. So yeah. Yeah, definitely do a correction video on that. Uploading it now. And yeah, I mean, I'm wrong, he's right. Mea culpa. And as I've always said, I suck at math. So it's nice to have somebody come in and give feedback, and I triple check it, and I'm like, yeah, that is weird, that it's not a holy trinity. That it must have been profitable back in the past, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to make my opinion known, and I think it's stupid to have claimed it was profitable based on my main assumption that the market was mature, it's been mature for a while, and that plex and extractors and injectors were a holy trinity of lockstep prices. But that's totally not true at all. Just ignoring his cherry picking and just running the numbers as I did, that definitely really weird prices for injectors. Compared, like, it's not, if it injectors were that much more expensive and that much more profitable, um, that's just a fact of the market. And I was just looking at my experience over a year and going, well, it seems to track. The prices go up and down when Plex goes up and down, so therefore, ergo sum, they've never been like an anomaly, and they have. So I'm just repeating myself, aren't I? Yeah. If I go any longer, I'll have to. You'll just do a TLDR and just clip it to the beginning.